Let's talk differential feed on a serger. Now, here is the knob we're going to adjust. Notice that it's set at 1 when you don't need it. So it's kind of like a 1-to-1 ratio. The numbers change down to 0.7 and then it'll go all the way up to 2. So the 2 would be like a 2-to-1 ratio. Well, what kind of ratio are we actually talking about? When we come over here, if you want, you can look under the foot and you're going to notice you have 2 sets of feed dogs. 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So we sometimes need this when we stitch on fabrics that are stretchy, and you get it when it comes out and it's wavy, or you're stitching on fabric that is slippery and you're stitching along and you're realizing the bottom layer, for example, comes out a little on the short side because the bottom layer is getting gathered up and you don't want that. These 2 items are going to show us what differential feed can fix. So let's go ahead and just start. This is just a regular 1-to-1 ratio on the knit fabric. So just go ahead and stitch like normal. And look what we get. We have the wavy edge, which we don't want. So pretty much what's happened, because this foot is so long, the pressure of it has stretched it during the serging process. And so what we're going to do is we're going to ask the front feed dog to go get more fabric and ease it in before the needles, which are an inch behind where the front of the foot starts pushing down, before it gets to stitch. So I'm going to go ahead, let's see here, 2.0. I'm going to go towards 2. I probably won't need 2. Two, but let's go ahead and, because sometimes on something of a lighter weight knit, you only have to go up to like 1.5. Let's see where we're at here. I'm going to do it on the other side so we have something to compare it. So what's going on here? Oh yeah, love this. Look how flat that is. Now, I'm also noticing that it actually went in a little bit more than I needed. See how it's kind of starting to kind of ease in? So between 1 and 2, as in like 1.5, would be just enough to ease it in so we don't have the waves and we have it perfectly flat. And with knits, of course, you still have that stretch and give, but we definitely don't want to start with the wave at the beginning. So differential feed. And honestly, if you forget which way to go, one makes it worse, one makes it better. So give it a whirl both ways and you will definitely see the difference. Fleeces, sweatshirt fabric, t-shirt knits, those are going to be the things you're going to notice that at. So here is, let's go ahead and go back to 1. And then we'll go ahead and just do these 2 slippery fabrics. I remember working on a rayon project when I was young. And I noticed that when I got to the end, my bottom layer was actually shorter than my top layer. We'll just say it was on a shorter dress to start off with, so that dress was getting smaller and smaller. See on this back side, can you kind of see it's kind of got some, this is the underneath edge. That is starting to get a little bit puckered, where the top edge was not puckered. So what was happening is that bottom layer was being fed faster. And so, if you don't want the puckers, what we're going to do is change it to the 0.7 range. And here, we'll just sew it again. You're going to notice now that front feed dog will be not pulling in as same as the back. It's actually going to be pulling in less. And what it's going to do is kind of help hold that bottom layer from feeding as quickly and without that extra gather. Now it'll be perfectly flat all the way through. Ta-da! Flat and flat. Here's something that you might notice. On this turquoise fabric here, do you notice that my 4 different colors of thread, I've got the yellow, the red, the green, and the blue, they just kind of all blend in. So it really doesn't show up much depending on your color order, but the only thing that I would change, because I'm going to see yellow in that needle, is I would put my blue or say a small spool of turquoise thread, a matching thread, in my outside needle. And guess what? It won't matter what thread is actually in the inside seam because you're not going to see it. So even though there's red right there, who cares? So you really can be quite forgiving. There has been projects that I have some colorful insides with because it's what I had on and it wasn't going to matter and only one needle was going to show in the seam, which I did match up. So differential feed is definitely something to know about and be able to adjust. Again, one makes it better, one makes it worse. So if you can't remember the whole way it's supposed to work, just give it a go both ways.